Greetings! Nice to see you. How you doing? Welcome back to Casa Chapper. Woke up, bit of bedhead, so I thought I'd put on a stupid hat. So today we're going to talk about old things, the oldest gear that I have in my possession, both in terms of it just being really old and also in terms of it being having been with me for the longest amount of time. But before I get into all of that, I just want to say thank you so much for all of the really lovely comments and support that you posted on my last video. And I really hope that we've kind of cleared the air. Let's just shred and play guitar and talk about gear and all that kind of thing. So thank you very much. Let's talk about old gear. So I've got quite a bit of old gear. I couldn't really present it all in this video because it would have taken way too long. So I've kind of chosen my favorite bits of old gear, but I know that loads of you are going to go, wait a minute, what about this thing that you had back in 2001 or whatever, you know? You'd be right, there'll be definitely some key pieces missing from this video presentation today. Let's start with my pedal board. So you must excuse, and I'll give you close-ups and things, but you must excuse this Wazacraft Boss chromatic tuner. I need to keep in tune as much as possible. But we've got Ibanez TS9. So the TS9 has not been in my possession for a tremendously long amount of time, but it is very old. So it's definitely one of the oldest pedals that I own, but not the oldest. That would be this Chorus CE2. I have no idea of the actual year, but I think it's the original run CE2 pedal. It sounds great. It does suck a little bit of the level, but if you don't mind that, if you can boost it, then you're kind of good. Talking of boosts, here's a G7. This is one of the first pedals I ever purchased. It's definitely from the very, very early 80s, I believe. And I've never changed it, used it loads, and I love it to pieces. So Equalizer G7, C2, Ibanez TS9, and then just a tuner to keep me in tune. This is the board I'm going to be using. And I have to be honest and say that despite the fact that I've limited my usage to old things, I'm really happy with the way it sounds. So it's kind of exciting. Let's talk about amplification. So this is a Coolidge Outlander. It's a handmade plexi-style amplifier from a man called Charles Coolidge, to whom I am incredibly indebted to, and gratitudinal, is that a word? Tell me in the comment section below if I just made up gratitudinal. I like that guy. He sent me this in the post.
Hi YouTube, this is Charles from Coolidge Amplification.
I'll tell you what, she sent me packaging good. She landed and she's looking freaking awesome, mate. Possibly the most expensive gift I've ever received in my life. Yeah, there's not a scratch on it. Wow. Look at that. That's amazing.
And I know that it was a long time ago. And previous to owning this Coolidge Outlander, I was mainly an orange, or at the time, a Cornford guy. So hand-wired turret to turret, perfection on the inside. I took it once to a tech to have it worked on, and he opened it and went, wow. And it's not often that you get that kind of a response from a tech. I've just set it to go. It's going to go very loud, and through the wonders of compression and whatever device you're listening to, you might not know how loud it is, but rest assured, it's loud. And it's not that loud because it can go a lot louder. I love the way that he's named a lot of the areas on this. And again, I'll give you close-ups of the panel for those of you who've not seen it before. The Coolidge Outlander, oh no, it's 100 watts. I think it's 100 watts. Yes, it's 100 watts. I've had it for about 100 years and only just realised it's called the Outlander 100 because it has 100 watts contained within its wooden husk. It's made of monkey wood. Monkey wood, I think, is in the middle. I can't remember the external wood, probably maple, but I remember it was exotic woods and one of them was monkey wood. Charles, if you are still around, please drop me an email and say hi, officialrobchappers@gmail.com. That's actually my email address, and just come and say hello, because it's been a long time. 3 really, really old guitars with me here. Let's talk about a beautiful one and an emotional one. So before I was demonstrating for Andertons, I used to make demonstration videos for another store, which is a really amazing high-end store called World Guitars. And there's a guy there called Jeff Pumfret, who sadly passed away. But before he did, he gave me this guitar.
Okay, this is exclusive to World Guitars. There's a bunch of these. This one's a custom 24, charcoal burst 10 top. Can you believe it? Charcoal burst 10 top headstock. That really is the most astonishing, fantastic guitar. And I'm actually going to do something now on camera I've never done before. I'm going to make someone cry, and I mean it. I don't do this very often, but you've worked really hard the last 2 years, done loads of videos for us. The YouTube thing's been really successful, and it's been real fun as well. This is seriously one of my favourite guitars ever. It's one of a limited run that we've done. I think there's about 10 or maybe 14 of them with ridiculous 10 tops and 10 top headstocks. Rob sort of calls it a 20 top. It's an absolute dream. It's a custom 24, it's got a wide thin neck, it's got a 3-way switching in the push pull and blah 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 blah. This guy deserves it, he works really hard. Rob, you're a mate. No man hugs, just the old fashioned handshake. Have we got a deal? Cheers, mate.
Give us some man love it.
You hate that colour.
Thank you very much, Steve. Pleasure.
And it's just a stunning, stunning PRS. It's a 10 top, and not only is it a 10 top here, it's a 10 top on the headstock. And I'll obviously never get rid of it. And it sounds beautiful, it plays really nicely, and it's something that I often use for recording, for a kind of a different sort of a tone. I love the HFS pickups, and I love a lot about this guitar. I think I love it more because of the emotional connection to Jeff and how he really brought me into the demonstration thing before Lee and I hooked up and became mates. But so it's just a special guitar. And I think it's really special too because before this guitar, I actually was a PRS artist with the UK distributor. So they gave me discounts on PRS. I'm talking like 11 years ago. And I ended up buying a guitar that looked very similar to this that I called Wednesday, and went through some serious financial hardship, needed to sell Wednesday. So I named this one Wednesday Mark II. And I think she has lived up to her nomica. So, guitar number 1. It is old. Old for me anyway. The oldest guitar that I've got here, and she weighs a ton, is ML1 number 1. This is the first ever Chapman guitar before it was even Chapman. This was originally released through the brand Gould, as you can see here, which is a British, I think, owned brand distributed by Barnes and Mullins. And of course, originally, most of you will already know this, but the ML1, before Chapman Guitars was a business, was my signature guitar, and it was being launched through the brand Gould. We were only going to make 50 of them, and then we ended up making loads of them, and then it became a brand. So this is pre-Chapman guitars, but it's a Chapman. This is just a font from Microsoft Word. before I'd even decided to use my actual signature as the signature, which then became a problem because, of course, my signature was in public domain and I had to come up with a new one for banking and everything. You don't think about these things when you write your name on a bit of paper and stick it on a headstock. This guy is a very young Adam Lee. And actually, Adam Lee is about to play a gig with me on the 5th of March in Brighton because Zach, who normally plays guitar for Clockwork Wolf Co, can't make it. And Adam is a sick guitarist. So it's kind of crazy. He's come full circle from coming to see me launch the first ever Chapman guitar to playing in Clockwork Wolf Co. See you soon, Adam. Bye.
I know. It's solid mahogany body, ebony fretboard, one piece maple neck. It's £290. Really cheap.
How much it weighs?
It doesn't weigh. It weighs £290, and that's going to disappear. It's just going to say Chapman.
It's very nice and lovely.
I could do that. So this is my first prototype of my own guitar brand. But let's pause to be a $2 sound. And a strap, bolt on neck, and an ebony fret, which is that kind of snappy, top-endy thing. So I want the yin-yang blend.
What's that, yin-yang?
That's infinity. So
I know.
Pots, cattle. It probably could be, because Eddie can play Rachmaninoff. Oh, look, it's got my face on it.
Ah, now that is smart. Now why do you have that? You should have that.
Oh.
So you're happy with the
Yeah. Oh, really?
He looks like a proud papa.
I like a heavy guitar. I like the way it feels when I'm playing it. And I feel that the weight of a guitar makes a difference to the way that it makes a sound. So I requested this be heavy. And then the actual models were even heavier. Some of them. Things you might not know. The factory made a mistake when they made the original ML1 and they doubled the thickness of the fretboard. So there's a whole load of ebony on the top of these, way more than you would ever normally use. And it makes them a little bit different, in my opinion. So yeah, ML1, number 1. It doesn't have a serial number. It's 11 years old. That's what I know. Oh. And then this is prototype number 1, ML1. When we decided to launch Chapman as a business, this was the first prototype ML1 off the line. I grabbed it, and I was friends with another unfortunately departed friend called Tom, who was the guitarist for Fields of the Nephilim. And he had shaved the top of his ML1 off, and I thought it looked really cool, so I did exactly the same thing, and was an artist with Damasio back then. Still love Damasio pickups. Got a Mojo, Chopper Cruiser, and I honestly chose the Chopper because it sounded like Chappers, and I thought it was just funny. But the Mojo, because I'm clearly one of Joe Satriani's biggest ever fans, is insane. It sounds incredible. So that's what I've got in this, and other than that, it was just set up really nicely. It's all, normal. The wiring was redone because I wanted these to be splittable, which they are. And I removed the kill pot because originally ML1 came with a kill pot. So anyway, this is at least 10 years old. So that's kind of old, I suppose. I mean, I would have been 34 when this first entered my life. And I think I'll use this guitar, well, I'll show you the sound of all of them, but I'll use this one for the majority of this demonstrazione for you. I'm enjoying this video, it feels good. I feel like it feels good. So, should we, well, let's just play through the amp and see what happens. adjust the amp. Tube Screamer. Tube Screamer and GE7. Man, it was lots of fun, and I really should have worn earplugs because I got a little bit of earring now, and I do normally wear earplugs. Make sure if you don't have earplugs, get earplugs. They're really important. It's really loud. They sound really good. Should have changed the strings on these guitars because I'm sure some of them are from 5 years ago, probably. Especially these. I haven't done anything to them, so my fingers are all kind of grey and brown and smell horrible. Thank you for watching this medley of Shredley. Have a great day. Take it easy. See you later. Bye. Chappers out.